Okay ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီရှေ့မှာပေါ့နော် rich dad ဆိုရဲ Robert Kiyosaki သတ်မှတ်ထားတဲ့ချမ်းသာဖေဖေကကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီသူ့နီးနာပေါ့နော်အဲ့တော့ပထမချက်ကချမ်းသာပုံနည်းများယူနာဆိုယူမယ်အဲ့တော့10 cents an hour နဲ့လုပ်ခိုင်းတယ်ပြီးတော့ Narrator တို့သူ့ရဲ့ CM ဖေဖေကပြောတော့ Robert Kiyosaki သူ့ page ကြီးသွားပြီးတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီဒါ illegal ပေါ့နော်တရားမဝင်ကလေးကိုဒါအနိုင်ကျင်တာပေါ့ဘာညာတော့ပြောတယ်ပေါ့နော်ပဲကြမှာဒီက okay နောက်ဒါ Robert Kiyosaki နာဂန်နဲ့သူဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်နောက်တစ်ခါထပ်တင်ပြီးတယ်ဒီကောင်လေးကိုအဲ့တော့ထပ်တင်ပြီးတော့ဒီတစ်ခေါက်မင်းပတ်စံတပြားမှမပေးဘူးမင်းလုပ်ရမယ်ဆိုတော့နေရာကျွန်တော်စမှာပေါ့နော် So let's get started. I'm gonna tell you guys in English again. So of course now Robert Kiyosaki, of course his friend Mike, they are working for no money. So they don't get any money. They don't even get just 10 cents an hour. Okay. So one day the rich dad comes to the store where the Mike and rich dad are working, and he says let's go for a walk, boys. So he asks, they are sitting somewhere in the park, I guess, and then he asks, well, have you learned anything yet? They don't know what they learned, so they say nothing. And while they're talking, the rich dad says, okay, now guys, they talk, of course, and then he tells them, the rich dad tells them, well, now you get no money. What if I give you 25 cents an hour? Is that exciting to you? And of course, right, Mike and Robert Kiyosaki, they want this, right? And then rich dad asks, is that exciting to you? Is your heart beating faster when you hear that you will get 25 cents an hour? Well, Robert Kiyosaki, he writes in the book that yes, of course, his heart is beating, right? He wants that amount of money, of course. His brain is screaming, I want, right? 25 cents an hour. And then, of course, again, what about giving you $1 an hour? What about this? He wants more, right? He's actually, the rich dad is testing their emotions. Most people, right, when they hear this and they usually accept this, they take it, they never learn how to be rich, how to make money work for them, right? Let's keep going. And then, of course, the rich dad says, keeps saying, well, what if I give you $2 an hour? And then, of course, Robert Kiyosaki and Mike, right? They imagine all the toys, all the new bicycles, and all the gloves and things that they want. But finally, right, they realize, they know that, well, rich dad is testing them. And rich dad keeps saying, well, most people, right, they have to go to work every day. They do the same thing. This is their pattern. This is their pattern, right? They get up, they go to work, they pay bills, right? And we don't know why rich dad is saying this, that he says that most people, they fear of having no money. That's why they work. We don't know that yet, why he said this. And rich dad says, well, because in the first place, right, you guys, Mike and rich dad, Mike and Robert Kiyosaki, right, they already accepted the offer, right, the deal, right? So the rich dad says, I want you guys, boys, to avoid that pattern. Most people, they don't ask questions about themselves. They do what most people do. That's what I want to teach you. Not just to be rich, but being rich does not solve the problem. There are many problems. Yes, most people, right? The rich dad said, most people, they think that having a lot of money will solve their problem. He said it's not. Let's keep going. In the chapter 1, we don't know much. So I know what is gonna happen because I already did. I don't know how many times I just read the book because I love it. It changed my life. It changed my financial situations, of course, but it will change yours too. The point is that in chapter one, you're listening to this video, you won't know much, but keep listening, keep learning with other future chapters, and then you will learn something. He says a job is really a short-term solution to a long-term problem. And then Ryusaki sees that my poet is always saying that stay in school, get good grades, so you can find a safe, secure job. And the rich dad says again that most people recommend that it is a good path, a good way for most people, right? Getting good grades, going to a university. If you want that, that is fine. I don't want to judge, argue with you guys if you're listening and watching this video and you don't like this. But at least you will learn something, okay? That if you're interested in attending a university, college, or you want to get a lot of the higher degree, it's okay. Just go and do it. No problem. But I mean that if you want to, you just go to university, of course. If you know the how the money works for you, even if you have a lot of the higher degrees and higher qualifications, you can do something. The money that you get with the money that you get, actually. That's why you should learn at least, even if you don't have to agree with everything he says, of course. Of course not, of course. So the rich dad keeps saying that, well, I want to teach you to master the power of money. They don't teach that in school. If you don't learn it, you become a slave to money. Slave here means a poor person, a clueless person. That's why rich people with lots of money often have more fear, and the richer they get. So it means that, right, in the story that, right, a lot of the rich people, they have a lot of money, but money cannot solve most of their problems. Look, school is important. You go to school to learn a skill, a professional to become a contributing member of society. Right? This is what I talked a few minutes ago. Every culture needs teachers, doctors, right? Artists, cooks, right? A lot of people here, firefighters, and school trains them so society can thrive, can survive, can grow, flourish. And it is a nice way to say that. Now, unfortunately, that for many people, school is the end. After the school, your learning is ending, not the beginning. He says. I have been a little cruel today, said Rich Dad, but I want you to always remember this talk. Money cannot solve. Having a lot of money cannot solve the problems that people have, he says. Let's keep going. We don't know, as I already said, we don't know much about what is happening in chapter 1, but we will know by going to another chapter by chapter, okay? Again, he says that most people never see opportunities because they're looking for money and security, so that's all they get. They never look for the opportunities. We don't know. So after this, of course, after they talk, they're talking right in the part, remember? And then they're done. So the rich dad is gone. And so basically in this part, that rich dad says, look for the opportunities. Look for the opportunities. Don't look for the money. So of course, finally, Mrs. Martin, remember? The woman, of course. The woman, there are of course many women working for the rich dad, but Mrs. Martin is one of them. And so she is I think she's carrying the, let me just check. Oh, anyway, Oh, yeah. Mrs. Martin is cutting the front page of the comic book in half, right? Mrs. Martin is one of the employees for the rich dad. And she keeps the top half of the comic book cover and throws the rest of the book into a large cardboard box. And they ask, she said that, well, I throw them away. And she said that I give the top half of the cover back to the comic book distributor for credit. When he brings in the new comics, he's coming in an hour. So of course, Mike and Rebecca said they waited for an hour, and soon the distributor arrived, and they asked that distributor, can they have these books? And the distributor said, well, you can have them if you work for the store and do not resell them. And of course, finally, they just got a lot of the books, of course, for free, and they open a kind of a book library. Yeah. And then, of course, they just rent the books. They get the money. Because they don't look for the money. Instead, they look for the opportunities. So they say that they get the $9, I think, per week for 3 months. And then they hire Mike's sister for $1 a week, so she takes care of their library, And they also allow her to read the comic book. So a lot of the children, they come and they just borrow basically, right? They borrow the comic books so that Robert Kiyosaki and Mike, right? Finally, they did a business because they looked for the opportunities. They found one. Now they're doing that. So they learned something, and here, finally, the bullies, right? The other bad children from another neighborhood. They have a fight in their place, in the library, of course. And the rich dad finally said, well, just close it. You have learned something. So finally, right, Robert Kiyosaki and Mike, they learned something from the rich dad because they look for the opportunity, right? Opportunities are everywhere, so they don't. The point is that rich dad doesn't teach them how to get more money from a boss, from a company. Instead, look for the opportunities. What can you do? So they look for the opportunities, and they see that Mrs. Martin is getting the book and front page, I guess. So they see and they think, oh, what can I do? What can we do about this, right? And then they just do something. Even they this, right, in the story, that they hire Mike's sister. They pay her $1 for a week, I guess, and every week, right? And they're not there, but their money is working for them. They collect the money every week or maybe every month, because they just did. I think they did it for 3 months, and then they can have fun. They can play. They're really happy, and they are thankful they feel thankful for the rich dad, because the rich dad teaches them. The next chapter, we will learn about why teach financial literacy. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. This is the next chapter that we will learn. So I'm going to do that, guys, maybe one video per week. Because right now, as you know, that the electric is not stable. It comes out and it comes back, but we cannot guess when the electric is coming back. So this is the problem. So I'm gonna just do a one video per week so we can learn. Listen to this, guys, because I use very, very easy, simple words to get the idea. Again, I understand that you feel complicated about this part, but the more we learn, there are too many informations, guys, so that I skip, So, but if we do the other future chapters, we're gonna learn much, much deeper. So again, if you have you cannot speak English really easily, okay, and you don't know what to do, you have so many of my learners, right? They come to my school and they tell me that I have studied for so many years with so many traditional methods, but I cannot speak English with even a simple statement, simple sentence. And they think about translation, right? They do a lot of translation in their head, keep thinking, of course. And then so many problems with speaking, of course. If you're one of them, we have a 6-month guarantee course to help you speak English better in 6 months. If you cannot speak, you follow when you join, when you attend. And you follow our instructions exactly. You practice, you attend every single day. You just keep learning and learning, right, with our instructions. Actually, 4 days per week you have to attend, but we also give you lessons to listen. So basically every single day. If you follow exactly our instructions for 6 months and you're gonna speak, you will get all the money in return back. You don't have to take a lot of risks in our school. You follow our instructions, you follow exactly, you cannot speak, you get your money. But again, in our school, we don't teach you grammar, guys. If you like grammar studying, we're not for you. You have to just find another class. We're not teaching grammar. If you think grammar rules are important, if you think that without the grammar we cannot speak, we're not for you, guys. Sorry. You have to find another class that will teach you grammar that you like. We don't use unnatural methods, okay? We try as much as we can to connect to the reality. So we don't use textbooks, we don't use grammar drills and translation methods, all the traditional methods that you have seen again and again and again. So, okay, good luck. Bye for now.